How are you feeling today?
Not so great, yeah.
ऐसा क्यों? What's up?
I don't know, I've been feeling quite low for some time now. I think it's just this entire December and now Jan also, yeah. मेरे को लगा खत्म हो जाएगा, but I don't know what's wrong. That's the reason I've been putting off this episode also. Like, I just can't find the energy or the motivation to do anything.
Dude, if you put it
I
that
don't know.
way, I feel like it's very much relatable. I mean, I think even I've been feeling the same way. And with the couple of people that I've talked in the last few weeks, I think
Hmm.
they've been feeling the same way as well. So I think it's most of us. What if
So we're collectively not fine.
yeah, what if I say that it's the seasonal depression? Does it make sense to you?
I mean, at least we would have a reason this time for not being fine. So I think I would like to take that option. This is
Yeah,
even another reason why we are not fine. But what does it mean though for the people that don't know? What does it mean seasonal depression?
so basically, seasonal depression is when your mood says, like, bro, I'm done. Every year around the same season, usually winters, your body
Hmm.
and brain are reacting to less sunlight, messed up sleep. Instead of feeling a little meh, some people feel persistently low, heavy, unmotivated, and emotionally drained for weeks. It's not just उफ lazy lag raha hai. It's more like getting out of bed feels harder than usual. Things you normally enjoy feel flat. You're tired all the time, even after resting. You want to isolate but also feel lonely, which is the worst combo ever.
It is there, and but sort of at least in a weird sense, I'm happy that there is some reasoning to this, and this is not just something that's happening to us because it's like we are dysregulated on like a neurochemical level, and it's not something that we're doing to ourselves. So that's somehow a relief. But yeah, the one thing I don't like about this is, I love winters. It's like I wait the entire year कि कब December आएगा कब ठंड पड़ेगी. I'll wear jackets, I'll drink hot chocolate, and I'll just take time off work. I'll get to be with family, maybe go for a wedding or something, and just chill and maybe go on a vacation. Christmas aega, New Year's aega. Everything is so much fun in December. It's so beautiful, and I wait the entire year for December. Even as a kid, I remember waiting for December because schools were off.
Hmm.
You get to watch movies and all of that, and it's fun. I do. I up until a few years ago, I used to do like reruns of like Home Alone and Harry Potter in December. It's like a fixed thing that I do. And I don't know why is it so sad now.
Hmm. That does sound very relatable. But I think that's where our answer lies as well. When you said that, it's the vacation time. So
Hmm.
people are not working anymore. It's
Yeah.
their break. So the chairs are empty. Your winter also holds your memories a little differently. Does that make sense to you?
It doesn't. What do you mean by that? What do you mean differently?
As in winters, I think life gets a little quieter. There's less distraction, less movement, fewer plans. Fewer plans, as in, yes, you do have plans for your vacations, but the daily routine wala plans, they are not there anymore. And when things
Hmm.
slow down, memories get louder, man. Uh, and it's the season when where empty spaces are felt more. Old routines come back. People you miss feel closer somehow. So people who are missing their exes, it's because of this season. you know our
Yeah.
past versions of life resurface without any warning. So I think it's probably that.
Oh wow. Now that you said it, it just makes so much sense. But it's true, right? I think when you finally get away from like the hustle and bustle of life in general, of going to work every day, being in traffic, having deadlines, doing everything day in and day out, I think winters really just slow you down. So now your brain finally has space to process it all, and unfortunately, it's just processing all the wrong things, right? And just making us sadder. I hope that wasn't the case, but sounds like it is.
It is.
It's so funny. I remember, growing up, we used to watch these Hollywood films.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, the main character was always like, I hate going home for the holidays, and I can't believe that I'm single on holidays, and what are people going to think? And there is the pressure of going home and the holiday season in general. And I used to think, yeah, it's okay. You know, the sad part is I kind of always wanted to be like the main character. I just didn't know we were going to be main characters in like a Christmas movie where it's like, the whole sadness of not having it figured out is what is making us the main character here.
Yeah. No, but when you mentioned, right, that the weddings wala part, we
Hmm.
talked in our last or last
Yeah.
to last,
Oh, second episode.
yeah, second episode, where we do have a lot of FOMO during the wedding season. Plus, also
We
one
do.
more aspect, as in, as soon as we open our Instagrams, everybody is getting married. And even though we expect, most of us are not invited to so many weddings.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And then we also
True.
discussed that at least a few people who are of our age who want to get married and are
Hmm.
not married, they also have that kind of sadness that they do not have a partner.
Yeah, and I also think that I think as we discussed in that episode itself, right? I don't think it's about necessarily just not having a partner or not, getting married or that. I think it's the realization of seeing all those familiar faces again. Like, if you go home for a wedding, you're going to meet your
Oh
entire
yeah.
family again, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I think it sends us back in time also weirdly where you remember how you were maybe as a kid, the last time you saw these people, and all those feelings and how you feel about these people in general. I think that also comes back, right? And then you realize that life maybe you hoped would be a little different, but it kind of is not, right? I mean, you're
That's
seeing
true.
these same people which probably don't even like you, and you don't like them all over again, and it's like that realization of the fact that maybe you haven't done enough to be, somewhere else, like you're still here, and then you just sort of regress back to that small child that you were stuck in that same space again. So I think that is also to bring up some memories and some sadness in that sense, right?
Yeah, and because of that, where holidays are supposed to be fun and joyful, so many of us
Yeah,
feel worse.
it is. It is. That's what, right? Like going back home, being in that same familiar environment for a lot of people is very anxiety inducing also because not a lot of people grew up in very warm homes, right? As an adult, you build a safe and secure life for yourself, but
Yeah.
all of a sudden, when you're asked to go back, it sort of pushes you back into the same judgment, the same questions, the same criticism, the same, basically not a friendly place, right?
And this
You
time
can't do
it's for the
anything because
longer
there's no
period of
value.
time.
Yeah, yeah. And now it sort of hits you back that, you know, that this part of life also exists. Your entire year, you sort of numbing that part of yourself and you're like, I don't care about this right now because I have work to do and I have, goals to meet and bills to pay and all of that.
Hmm.
And all of a sudden the slow days come, like, holidays come, you go back and now it's all of a sudden back in your face again. That's not nice, is it?
And because of that, we also carry this guilt, man, that we were supposed to enjoy these holidays, and the holidays are over, and then we carry this guilt in ourselves.
Built into that is true. That is so true, right? Because I think there is this weird pressure of enjoying holidays also, right? We don't give ourselves, the time to just not be okay once in a while. It's like there is so much pressure to be okay the rest of the months. And now, when you have an off, there's pressure to enjoy the time off also. Instead of, just letting months, we sort of cling on to why exactly are you not having fun right now. And then we make holidays also kind of a work and a task, right? Which is just sad, but that is what we are doing.
Yeah.
And the Instagram thing you said was so true. Also, I think there is this weird comparison trap that we go into, right? Do you feel
Yeah.
that too?
Yeah, yeah, definitely that's true. And at least me, I mean, I felt that not in the recent years, but previously it
Yeah,
did used to make me feel like, everyone else is happy except me.
that's true. Yeah, yeah, because everybody knows, but even remember feeling that for a while. while when I saw a lot of people were posting like vacations, nice trips, some snow trips as well. And I was like, where am I gonna get to see? Why am I not going anywhere? Why am I? I was in transition of moving cities actually this December, so I had no space to go anywhere
Mm-hmm.
or to travel. And I was like, why is everybody on my feed traveling except for me? Like, what is wrong with me? How did life become this? And I remember sitting one day down and just thinking, "Gee, I have 27 years not accumulated to anything. Was I not supposed to be in a different space right now? Like, wasn't I supposed to be something else where, I would have my Decembers to myself and I would actually get to go on a nice trip this right now? Like, I started questioning everything that I've done for the last 8 years, I think, just because I
Yeah,
didn't have a
yeah,
trip to go to in this December. And it's, yeah,
yeah. And then this sadness makes you feel isolated all of a sudden,
it does, it does.
and it
Because
usually happens in winters only.
I hope that this is something that happens in winters only, but I don't want to feel this after because I don't, right? Because I saw, did you see those videos of a lot of people stuck in say Himachal or
Mm.
in Manali and
Yeah,
all that, right? So clearly everybody is going to the same place, and I would hate to be stuck in that traffic. But when you see the video of the destination, it just feels like you're missing something. But when you think practically about it, I think I really do enjoy winters indoors compared to being somewhere outside with a lot of people and a lot of crowd, anyways. But it's just like in these moments, right, when you open Instagram and start comparing life, it just feels sadder than maybe what it actually is. It gets heightened, the sadness, I
yeah,
feel.
yeah. I think it definitely gets heightened. It's not usually that sad, but it definitely gets heightened. But the also the
Exactly.
weird part is that why are people not really talking about it? And I know for a fact that a lot of us are feeling this way, but then people
Mm.
don't also
Yeah.
usually talk about it. Probably because all of us are isolating.
Yeah, probably, right? I think, as we said earlier, like there's so much pressure to feel okay, right? There's so much pressure to be enjoying holidays also. Then you feel like you're the only one who's feeling this
Mm-hmm.
way, so you're like, you don't reach out to any other person. When in fact, everybody on some level might just be feeling that. At least, like, if you have like 10 friends, I'm sure three or at least four are feeling the same way. But we end up watching the reels of only the other six, and we're like, you know what? Maybe I'm the only one who's not going somewhere. Right?
Yeah.
And then you don't even connect to anybody like that. It's like in our own bubble of sadness, I feel.
So is it
But
possible that we're all hiding the same feeling then?
it could be. It could be. I think it can look different for different people, right? As we said, there's a different reason of why we feel sad. Like somebody might be missing an ex, somebody might be not liking the fact that they're back home, somebody might be missing some kind of a loss or grief or whatever, right? So different reasons maybe, but on the surface of it, like, or at least the how it looks will still be similar for us. The fact that we're
Mm-hmm.
sad and isolating, right? I don't think that changes things. But why do you think is it so difficult for a lot of people to uh, go home and feel this? Because aren't families supposed to be comforting, and aren't we supposed to, enjoy time together like that? But a lot of people don't enjoy going back home also. Why do you think that happens?
I think you explained it before that how people have some people who have not had warm childhoods and
Mm,
warm uh,
mm,
family situations, so they do not like going back, and they've built their own independent life outside their homes.
yeah,
And
yeah,
since they have that kind of freedom and independence outside, going back to your home, you know that there will be a lot of restrictions. um,
mm,
the environment is not that nice because something or the other triggers somebody, and then there's a fight in the house. And
mm,
when if they have two three siblings in the house and all of us are together, there's no private space, personal space,
yeah.
and then it gets weird that way, so probably because of that.
Yeah, true, true. That is true. There are a lot of, I think January brings in a lot of New Year's resolutions and all of that. A lot of
uh,
people that start therapy in January also. Do you think that is connected? Because it's like, December you meet your family and maybe process whatever breakup or loss or grief or whatever, and then in January you're like, new year, new me, so I'll go and process it properly in therapy maybe now.
I
There's
think
a lot of increase.
maybe, I mean, so wow, okay. I definitely have way more clients than what I had in October, November.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was because of the resolution. I mean, none of them shared that it was because of the resolution that they're here in therapy. But maybe, I don't know.
No, I think people do find this, how do I say it? Look, so you're having this routine in life, right? That
Hmm.
everything is going sort of, we are going to work, this, that, whatever. And then the holidays comes, your life takes a dip, right? That's where it feels like nothing is working out in your favor and nothing makes sense, and you have to process the entire year. So sometimes it gets really difficult to process it on your own, so
Hmm.
right? So then a lot of people start therapy because they're like, I don't want to feel like this come next December, right? It's right to start processing all of this. So there are. I've heard a lot of my like therapist friends say they get a lot of increase in cases once January starts. So could be, could be interesting also.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. And when you said that, I was like, dude, yes, I do have more clients than what I had before.
It's like gym memberships, right? I think come January, a lot of people look for self improvement, right? Be it physical or emotional. I think we just all move towards in that direction. But I think another thing we should talk about is how maybe you should not pathologize whatever it is that you're feeling, because it's very common. And as we said, that it is just something that winter brings with itself, right?
Hmm.
So it has nothing to do with you, the person. It has probably less to do with whatever it is you have made up, as opposed to the situation itself. So I think we should talk a bit about that and how people can go easy on themselves.
Yeah, I think the pathologizing happens
Amazing.
because uh, the thing that I mentioned before, that we do not really talk about this feeling as much as we should.
Yeah.
Since
Yeah.
probably because since people are isolating, but yeah,
Mhm.
since we don't talk about it, when it suddenly comes up, we just diagnose it as it's depression or you're super sad, something of
Yeah.
that sort. Uh, Probably that we definitely should not be pathologizing it for sure.
Yeah.
And but I also definitely think that most of us have lost tolerance for normal sadness.
That is true.
It
Wait, what do you mean by that? Somebody who didn't understand.
Oh, wait, what? I You got cut. Okay, you got.
I'm saying, what would you mean by that? Tolerance for normal sadness.
Okay. Um, so this is what I got to hear a couple of years back from my own mother. So
Yeah.
she told me that, oh wow, okay. She told me that since our the small small things that give us dopamine hits have become so
Mm.
much so.
Mm.
I mean, there are so many things that give us those kind of dopamine hits that now we don't know what's the normal level of sadness. And of course, it's different for different people. But
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, now, even a little bit of sadness is like a lot, and you don't want to
Love.
feel that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That's true. I think there are just very weird expectations around feeling happy or feeling okay all the time, right? Like you're not allowed to feel sadness. At the moment
Hmm.
that you do, it's like the end of the world kind of a thing. Like
Yeah.
how is this happening to me? As if there is some guarantee that you as a person are never gonna feel sad just because you've done so much work, or just because you've healed enough, or just because life for you looks good. So why should you all of a sudden be feeling sad? But it's the same. You can just feel sad randomly, right? It doesn't have to do anything with anything. It's just emotion, much like everything else, and it's not as scary and as
Yeah,
burdensome as some people make it to be. Right? Why do you think people are so afraid to be sad? I think we should talk about that because it's like one of those emotions like we avoid. Okay, not me, not if anybody says like, "Are you sad?" Would you be like, not me. I cannot be sad," and we sort of run from it all the time.
because uh, if we speak in our therapist terms, sitting with sadness is way uncomfortable than sitting with any other emotion. No, I'm sure. I mean, it's difficult sitting with your guilt as well. But just like that, even with sadness, it's very difficult to sit with your own sadness and you know hug that emotion and then dissolve it inside of you. This was purely therapeutic language, but yeah, I think I can explain it that way. Um, I would want
Okay.
you to explain it in normal terms also,
Yeah,
please.
please, please. No, but I before you explain it, I think where my head is going at it is that whenever we feel sad, right, it's somehow we end up feeling that you have caused yourself to feel sad, like you are responsible for your own sadness. As if you didn't do this or if you didn't do that, maybe you wouldn't have felt sad. We don't really take credit for our happiness. Like, when something makes us happy, we don't say, you know what, I was
Yeah.
here, right place, right time. That's why I'm feeling
Mm-hmm.
happy. I deserve the credit for my happiness. We never do that. When we are feeling sad, say for instance, you're dating someone for like 2 years, 3 years, and all of a sudden you break up, you say, oh, this is my fault. I should not have gone on the first date only with this person. And I would not be in this situation right now. Like all of a sudden, it's your responsibility because of why you're sad at this moment. Let's say this person leaves you, right? So it's not even you who got to decide all of this. But then you're like, oh, I should have maybe done something differently, or I should not have been in this place at this time. Like we start questioning it just because you're sad, all of a sudden it is your responsibility why you're sad, and somehow you've caused the entire thing.
And then there's a
Yeah.
full complete chain of reasons now that you have,
Yeah.
which
Yeah. And
makes
then
it
you're just
so
like
much
there
more
shaming
heavier.
yourself for everything that you've done.
Yeah, yeah. So to explain my previous thing in an
Hmm.
easier way, I
Yeah.
think when you actually sit with your sadness, that's when you realize that, oh, there's just not one thing attached to the sadness. Then all of the experiences where you felt sad comes into light,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that gets so much more heavier for you than just
Hmm.
one. If
Yeah.
you're dealing with one thing, then you're dealing with one thing, and you're sad, yes, but then there are
Hmm.
so many more experiences where you felt sad, and then again your reason where you think
Yeah.
that you've caused it, or uh, whatever it is,
Yeah.
it makes it so much more difficult. So we just run away from feeling sad again.
That's right, right? Yeah, because I think you're right. I mean, if you end up piling on not just why you're sad right now, but why you were sad in the past also, all those experiences, then obviously you would feel like you are the one at fault, right? Because how have you felt sad like 10, 15 times? That is just such a thing. And I think it brings us back to this idea that we have that if you're feeling sad, somehow it's wrong, that you're not supposed to feel sad. As if feeling sad is like a bad emotion or a wrong emotion or something that's not supposed to exist. I think that's where the problem lies. I think if we were just to accept sadness as just another emotion, and then it happens, this is also something that exists, and this is also something that you would feel. I think then do you think we will take the pressure of feeling sad also?
But
Because right
that's
now we're
where
so
our
scared of feeling sad.
we see, maybe we are scared of feeling sad, but it also
Hmm.
comes from a place where um, in our environment nobody really taught us that it's okay to feel sad.
Yeah, yeah,
When even when our parents feel sad, they feel sad in isolation.
they do,
We do not,
they do.
we never see, or we rarely see them feeling sad in front of us. So
Yeah,
if that feeling is not normalized, then we do feel that okay, sadness is not a good emotion. We're not supposed to feel it in
yeah.
front of everybody. You have to feel it by yourself.
Alone. That's true, right? And that's what we were saying in the beginning. It's like we're isolating and we're just feeling sad these months. all on our own, and then come Feb, we'll all be out there like, yay, no more sadness, even though we wouldn't have processed it at all. Yeah,
But then
this.
I have one more question with this.
Mm,
How are we supposed to differentiate that, these are the emotions that we need to fix or work on, and this is
mm.
what we don't have to work on since it's the seasonal depression?
Yeah, no, I don't think it's like, just because it's seasonal depression, we don't work on it. I think the entire idea of knowing that, this is something that happens and it's seasonal and that you're not causing it is just so that you can go a little easy on yourself and be a bit more compassionate towards yourself, right? Because the main
Makes sense.
problem with these low emotions is that, as I said, you start feeling responsible for them as if you have caused them, right?
Hmm.
So this, I think, takes away that responsibility that we are unnecessarily placing on ourselves, right? In this situation, there is nothing there to take credit for or to take criticism for, right? So don't accept that just because you're sad, you've caused it. Accept the fact that this is something that happens. It
Hmm.
happens to the best of people. It happens to people who have already healed. It happens to the people who are doing good on their healing journey. It happens to people who are seemingly fine every other day of the year, and all of a sudden you're hit with this wave, right? So it has nothing to do with you, right? It's just neurochemically and because of sunlight and the air and this and that and everything, and how winter works in general. It's just happening to you. So I think knowing this can just take away the added pressure of saying that you are causing your own sadness, right? Whatever it is that you're feeling sad about, that has to be dealt with, right? But I think we'll be able to deal with it better without the added pressure of you having created it. So we can deal with it just as objectively as everything else in life, all the other emotions that you face, right? I think just knowing that this is happening because of this eases the pressure off of you.
It,
The fact that you have to deal with is, I think, true for all emotions, right? As long as you're just feeling them and letting them go,
yeah,
that's okay. If it's becoming a hindrance in normal life, then we deal with it. Yeah, I think that's about it.
makes perfect
So,
sense to me. That's true.
but why do you think people find it so difficult to be compassionate towards themselves? क्योंकि हम भी यही बोल रहे हैं ना, हम अभी तो बड़े अच्छे से बोला 2 मिनट के लिए, should be compassionate towards yourself and towards everybody else. And I swear, if somebody was asking me, they were sad and asking me why exactly, they shouldn't hold themselves responsible, or if this was a therapy session right now, I would say very nicely to my child, don't do this. Sadness is just an emotion. Everybody feels all their emotions and be more compassionate. But why do you think we're not able to do that for ourselves? Like, why? Why does that happen? Where does that block?
I am not very sure of the answer, but I definitely think we are all very hard on ourselves. And just like all of our clients go through this uh, seasonal depression thingy, even we do,
Hmm.
and even we are not that,
Immune to it, right?
yeah, yeah, and even we are not very compassionate uh, towards ourselves as well.
Yeah, I think that will bring us back to episode 1, right? When we say just because we're therapists.
We are not fine.
I honestly did not think that we would be this smart, that we would be able to connect our episodes. I honestly thought we were just going randomly on these episodes, but I think we've done a pretty good job.
And even, you know, with having ADHD, I thought we would definitely be not, but then we are.
We are, imagine we ended up shooting 4 of them and we ended up connecting also.
It's a win
Yeah,
for me already.
it's a win.
Okay, now I feel
It's
good
a win.
about the winters, at least a little bit.
Maybe this is, the day we start enjoying winters now. I think we have about 15, 20 days left of winter. We might as well enjoy them now.
I think we definitely should. I mean, before we let so many more people know that we are not fine, we definitely should sign off now.
And we started an entire channel called We're Not Fine. I don't think anyone is thinking otherwise at this point.
Yeah, but before we spill more secrets, I think it's a good time to sign off now.
It is. It is. One at a time. We'll do. We'll spill one secret at a time.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
all in one
yeah. Yes.
go. Okay. Cool.
All
Bye.
right, guys. Bye.